that's a valid reason to hate the holidays, is because it reminds you of your traumatic past. It makes total sense. Like, f the holidays in that sense, you know, if it reminds you of so much pain, you know? Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. We're here, we're present, and we don't really know how we feel about the holidays, right? So with this being my first year doing vlogmas, it's funny because I'm not even in the biggest holiday mood. I know a lot of my friends, like lately, aren't really in the holiday spirit either. You know, we're trying to be, or others just don't care. And me, I didn't care. Vlogmas is one of the ways I'm trying to find my spirit. You know what I'm saying? So today's more of a cozier chat. My light died, but you know what? It's serving more of the melancholy mood. Alexa, turn light on.
Okay.
So today's more of a cozy chit chat about why it's okay to not like the holidays or be a Scrooge, be a Grinch. We're gonna talk about the reasons why you may be feeling this way, if you are, why it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because these are all valid reasons as to why the holidays don't really have to matter, you know? Let's get into it. One of the first reasons why the holidays time period is always like a melancholy one is because of, trigger warning, we're talking about mental health and stuff of that manner, but first is like seasonal depression. I know a lot of people who go through that, where the weather changes, the time changes, and we just get into this zone where we emulate symptoms of depression. You know, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a, you know, I'm like a, I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, or therapist in any of the manners, but I know during this time period, people typically get more down, and because we're inside, it's cozier, it gets darker faster, we have less motivation to do things. Of course, there could be other contributing factors to seasonal depression, you know, clinical and actual diagnosed reasons, which I cannot say about because I'm not a therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, any of those things. This time period, it can be so melancholy, like you don't want to do a damn thing. You don't want to celebrate the holidays. You don't want to be in a festive mood because it's just sometimes too much. You know, sometimes it's one of those things where, say, if you're not in a good state and like everything's cheery and happy around you, and like you feel the need to like force a smile, force the energy to be in you, but you're not in an excited mood for the holidays, and that's totally fine. Considering seasonal depression, if you have that, or if you're just not in the mood, you don't have to be in the damn mood. You don't have to be in the mood. And I'm not in the mood. It's a difference if you want to become in the mood. Like if it's something you want to change, then you can work on it like I'm trying to do. But otherwise, if you're down and you do not want to do anything, don't feel the need to change. Don't feel the need to become in the spirit because everyone else is in the spirit and you're being left out if you're not celebrating or anything. You don't have to. Okay, another reason why we may not be feeling the holidays is because of family trauma, relationship traumas, any kind of interpersonal traumas with people, right? So the holidays tend to be a time where we, you know, reunite with loved ones, family, people from our past, you know, because it's more of a reunion kind of space with Thanksgiving if you celebrate it, or Christmas if you celebrate it, or the holidays in general. Those, of course, more holidays than just those two. It could be a time, like I said, where you're reuniting with people who may trigger you, people who've hurt you in the past. And even like on a more minuscule scale, where it's like if you have parents, family members, siblings who just somehow push your buttons and like make you feel uncomfortable. Say, for example, I don't know, you know, the generic Thanksgiving talks. I know Thanksgiving's past, but those talks where it's just like, oh, you don't have a significant other yet. Oh, well, how's work? Like things you don't want to talk about and it's bothersome to you. That's of course family trauma, relationship trauma. The holidays are a time where you kind of revisit your past in a sense, or you go face to face with yourself in the sense of the triggers you've experienced from those people. Mind you, this is not an episode about like how to fix that, because I made some videos about that, but this is about like the reasons why we're not in the mood and why it's so damn valid, because that makes sense. Who wants to be around people who make you feel terrible, scared? You don't have to see them. Of course, I guess that's a solution. Like, we feel pressure during those times, and sometimes we have to be in those scenarios where we're around those people. And it just sucks sometimes. It's a valid reason to hate the holidays, because you get this time where it's supposed to be about love, family, convivial energy, but sometimes for people it's like, oh, I'm about to go revisit my traumas, you know? And that's a valid reason to not like the holidays. So the next thing that makes it totally valid to hate the holidays was kind of similar to the point I had before about family traumas and relationship traumas and any kind of trauma. An old friend of mine told me once, when I was expressing to her how anxious I was to be in the holiday time, I told her how like a year ago today, or like a year ago around the same time, or years before in the same time, I experienced the worst trauma of my life, or traumas of my life. And she said, quote like, oh my gosh, it's like your body has a clock. And I was like, ever since he said that, I was like, oh my God. I don't know the science behind it. I know the book says literally the body keeps score. Like I've read that book, but I'm not sure like about like time frames, you know? But of course, certain situations can remind you of, you know, traumas, which hence the book, your body keeps score. Your body remembers trauma and holds it. When you get reminded of it, you get triggered, so you can get your body's trying to protect you. Body's trying to protect you from experiencing that pain again. But I never really thought about like my body will know what time of year it is. Maybe it does lead into the idea of that, like, oh, I see things and reminds me of it, but it's just like I took that as like directly, like say if someone like, I don't know, say if someone like broke my heart, and then I think about when I see love or people in love, then I'll get triggered. My body will literally, once it starts getting cold, my body will just start feeling the anxieties I felt years ago around the time where it got cold. You know, like on that kind of smaller level, more generic. Holiday season just brings so much anxiety to me because of all the harder things I've experienced during that time period. Yeah, for me, my body has a clock. When November hit, I said, oh my God. Because that's the seasons where, of course, you see family members, you see people from the past. And that's when usually people from your past hit you up to like, hey, happy Thanksgiving. Hey, like that's when they go home. And it's always that stigma of like when the warmer weather comes, the colder weather comes, people come back into your life, you know, like, oh, hey, checking in, you know, how are you? Like all that kind of stuff always brought up anxiety in me. But this year I've done so well with it. But there's more holidays coming up. There's Christmas, holiday time for me because I celebrate Christmas. I'm still in that season. My body is like going between like my current self, who's like healing from those things and is very strong and very resilient and very like, that's not me anymore type of energy, but the old me who's just like, oh my God, it's that time of year, like I'm freaking out. So I've been in a little bit of that a mental emotional battle past couple months within the holiday time of it getting colder. That's a valid reason to hate the holidays, just because it reminds you of your traumatic past. It makes total sense. Like fuck the holidays in that sense, you know, if it reminds you of so much pain, you know? Okay, another reason why the holidays can be just an annoying and stressful time is because people who have anxiety like me may get anticipation of the next year, you know? Say if it's like coming up, not even say that, it is coming up to be January soon. It's December, 1 month left. And sometimes that can have us thinking, oh my God, did I accomplish enough this year? Oh my God, did I even change this year? Oh my God, like what am I gonna do next year? Oh my gosh, what's, you know, like all of these things in regard to the new year, like having the pressure of going into that phase of, I need to plan my goals out. I gotta plan this, blah, 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 blah. And like, I gotta be a new year, new me, versus like dwelling on the past of like, oh, I didn't do enough. It's just like so much can go into the holidays, right? All these holidays of money, budgeting, getting all these gifts. It's so pricey this time of year, and all of a sudden you have to plan for the new year, so like people can be like buying all these expensive gifts for their friends and family, as they should, you know, cool. But then you're also thinking like, dang, I gotta, you know, plan my budget for the next year. Like it's all these sorts of things that could be going through your mind in the anticipation of a brand new year. You know what I'm saying? So it makes total sense as to why. That's another reason if you have New Year anxiety of like, I feel like society is like growing out a little bit. Of course, we're making new goals and stuff. But I feel like the New Year's resolution, I feel like I haven't heard as much. I could be tripping. But it's just the pressure of being perfect, coming into the new year perfect, having all your goals and just all that, preparing it for the new year. And if you actually go through with it, that's also a stressful idea. You know, like what if I don't follow through again with my goals or whatever if you didn't, you know? Another reason why it's okay to like dislike strongly the holidays is like some people don't even have people to spend it with, and that's totally okay. It could be a terrible feeling, you know. Sometimes people don't have family that are close. Some people could have family that have passed away, and it could be a very traumatic time where that's a time where you want to spend it with people you care about, you know. Or if you're against the holidays and you just don't, that's totally cool. Like that's great. Actually, that's really great. But sometimes people who would want to be with people and can't, that's just the saddest thing of all. It's okay to hate the holidays, and it's you're alone and you're like seeing everyone have fun and all of that. The holidays is not so magical as it seems. You could be watching people with their families, opening gifts, like everyone's recording everything, but it doesn't mean it's like, it's just mundane. In person, it's mundane. It's not that deep. Magic as you get older is gone. Yeah, it's cool. It's really, really great to spend time with people on the holidays. But if you can't, it's okay too. And I'm sorry if you feel really sad about the idea of maybe people, like I said, have passed on. You just can't be around other people when you want to. I'm so sorry. And I really wish you the best holiday. You know, try to do it for yourself too. You know, if you're in the mood to celebrate, if you have no one to do it with. TikTok is the thing where it tells you how to do some solo dates, solo stuff. And I bet there's lots of other people too who are gonna be alone on holidays, and they probably have a TikTok trend about it. You know, like spend the holidays alone, like, and like doing a bunch of like things that you can do and like inspiring you to like make certain recipes for yourself or do holiday activities and stuff. You don't have to let it go to waste, because especially since I've known someone recently who passed on who's such a good friend, I know how hard it might be for her family to want to celebrate the holidays with her being gone. And it's like the first holiday without her. Life is too short, you know? And if you hate the holidays, hate it. If you love the holidays, love it. But just overall, with all the points I've made of why it's valid to hate the holidays, because the holidays can suck sometimes, like just because it's supposed to be a convivial time doesn't mean it has to be. Just take care of yourself and love those close to you, you know, love on yourself, and that's all you can do. That's all you can do. There's no magical feeling that has to come with that. Just try your best, and that's all that matters. Thank you for being here, and you'll see me on this vlogmas, whatever I do with it, as I'm trying to make the most of it, whether it's a mundane day vlog or a fun holiday themed whatever I post. Thank you for coming on this journey with me, and we'll see how many days of vlogmas I do. If I don't do any, who cares? So thank you for watching, and thank you for being here as always, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.